Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. But first, we're going to pull a card from the deck. We're going to see what the opening energy is. This is kind of our little vibe check. Oh, yes, the Four of Swords. We have a real energy of things kind of coming into an understanding, a compromise, a truce. Now, this doesn't mean that everything is good. It's not all straight yet, right? But we're at a place where, yeah, we can agree to disagree. We can agree to maybe put this on hold for a while. We can agree that, I don't mess with you, you don't mess with me, kind of thing, right? So this is a good energy in my opinion, because it is kind of like coming into a safe harbor after maybe you have been having some periods of lamenting and ruminating and, feeling upset, angry, whatever it is. So this is, I would say, very positive, very positive. But I don't know. You Cancers don't often, and I'll say it delicately, but you don't often like to compromise, I don't think. Are you able to? Of course. Of course. You're a very refined person. But there is also at times, I think, just this kind of almost oppositional energy with Cancers. So, this might be actually a really big step for you. And that's a good thing. Definitely. It's not easy to, like, for me, being a Virgo, ever just admitting that somebody was right and I was wrong, it's a pain. I've had to learn to be okay with it, right? But yeah, anyways, let's get going. Let's take a look. So we have that Phoenix energy right there. Look at that with the wing, and let me get my little, you can see the head and the wing up here. Now, we know the phoenix is a bird that rises from the ashes. This is a mythological creature. It really symbolizes rebirth, a rising of sorts. Now, we also have two dogs. We have one here. You can see here's the head, here's the body, okay, and then the legs here. We also have, it looks like the number 8 or the infinity sign, maybe even the 2 of discs. We also have a dog over here. Now this one doesn't look like it's barking so much like this one is. This one, well, maybe, I guess its head is kind of thrown back and the mouth is open, and kind of standing, looking towards that phoenix. But the phoenix is also a person. If you look this way, sitting, we have the head, we have the body. It looks like holding a quill or a writing instrument, and the legs would be down here. Okay, now we have another person sitting over here, and some kind of creature right here you can see. It almost feels like a teacher, a mother, a role model figure. We have this eye that also kind of looks like a rodent, and we have the child over here, and it does feel like being taught. It also feels like a scribe writing down the minutes, the histories, right? So I feel like there has been, and look at this, we have these candles lit here. I almost wonder if you've dealt with some grief lately. We have a broken heart over here. it looks like a broken heart. So I wonder if there's been some grief. I wonder if it's been a breakup, a dissolution of some kind of relationship, if it was romantic, domestic, a friendship, family, mentorship, whatever. Somebody that really means something to you. I feel that this has been an ongoing pain. Maybe things had felt pretty gray for a while. Maybe feeling directionless, or like a blow to your confidence, or, your feeling of having somebody close in your life. I have this distinct feeling of really isolating, kind of going into self for a period of time. Okay. But then there is this energy where you go into this with the grief, right? And there is an amount of pain and sadness and lamenting and all the anger, all the things, right? But you're also somebody who thrives in having an expanse of emotional room around you. Around you. And what does that mean? What do I mean by that? I feel like for you to clearly experience your emotions in a way that feels real and authentic to you, and you'll listen to them, you almost need like this buffer zone from other people. So when you go through these really intense emotional cycles like grief, especially in those first cycles of grief, and then later on, because it gets bad again, it always does. But it's like you need all this room. You won't, you don't want to feel other people's emotions, deal with other people's, problems and their concerns and their fears and their needs and their, they need your support. They need you to validate them. They need you to pay attention to them. And, all the things that are kind of what we do in relationships. But when you go through this even more, I think it's normal for a lot of people, right? To kind of go into yourself when you're feeling terrible. But even more so for some of the signs. And Cancer is definitely one of those signs. So I feel like going into this place, you have realized it's clicked in again, right? That, yeah, this is very painful. Whatever you're grieving, big or small, it feels like it's really affected you. Some kind of change in your life. And you're reminded that when you have room, when you force yourself to have room to feel, to think, to be whatever you are, it's like you emerge from this hidden place. And I think that you in this time are remembering yourself. Not that you've fully forgotten yourself or anything like that, but I think it's almost kind of a relief. Now, I can akin this to something that happened to us recently at my house, is that we all got sick during the holidays, right? And that on the actual days of the holidays that we were observing, we were too sick to do anything. And all through break, my daughter's in school, so it's all through break we were sick. And then there was maybe 2 days at the end where everybody felt okay. Not great, but okay. It sucked. It was a terrible flu. But I got to be with my family in bed all day for a few days. And of course, it wasn't under great circumstances, but we were forced to slow down. We were forced to be with each other. And, you know, as much as we could, enjoy each other's company and help each other and just be, you know, in communion with one another. And it was a terrible situation, but it also was a great blessing. It was very grounding, and, you know, it helped strengthen bonds. You know, not that anything was going terrible in our lives, but we always have so much, right? We have so much to do, so little time. All of us, you, me, everybody. So to have these moments where, yeah, life, the universe, spirit, it's going to make us slow down. Right? And maybe it is a little uncomfortable. Maybe it's greatly uncomfortable. But there are blessings in this because you are remembering yourself. You are in your natural element, and that is having space to kind of unfurl, right? And so I see this as being a time not necessarily where you are creating and refining. So like if, you know, you wrote something, you're not necessarily editing it right now, but you are letting things just spill out of you. You are sublimating the pain. You are sublimating the loss. You're sublimating, you know, all of the feelings, all of the things, and turning it, right, transmuting it into something. I don't know what. I don't know if you're an artist or a writer, or if you make money, or you're a salesperson, or you're, you know, you build things. You might be a hobbyist of some kind. Whatever it is. The lesson is in learning how to take something and turn it into something else. And having the fortitude to do so. Now, we don't always have that, and there will be moments where I'm done for the day. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon and I'm going to bed. Sometimes it'd be like that. You know? Be kind to yourself. Whatever it is that you've had go on, it's valid. Even if other people tell you you're overreacting, it's too much. I know, you're a Cancer. You don't like people to think you're very emotional, or too emotional, I guess is what I should say. And, you know that you go through it sometimes. And often you do it by yourself, and often you do it silently and stoically, and, you know, you never mention it. But I want you to know there are those of us out here with eyes to see, and we see, and we feel. We know that you carry a lot. We know it's not always easy. We know that you can get grumpy, but we still love you, you know? So I feel like this is a time of great growth, even when it feels like, you know, something is lost. It feels hard to even conceive of you know, the next thing. Okay. Now I have to bring this up because I don't know what it is, but it looks like it says WAWA, like Wawa maybe, or wah. Is there a baby? Do you have a baby coming along, or a grandbaby? Maybe is that how you spell that gas station that's out east? Ooh, and this one looks like it says good. GOOD. Let's see, 17. Now, I do also want to mention, and we have the 3 down here, and the Trinity up here. We have a bird nested right here. I feel like there must be you're calling to teaching and writing. Writing and teaching, those really stand out. Now, it could be that you are somebody who is a parent, right? And the teaching is in the parenting, or was, if you have already raised kids, or you will be. Maybe it's in the future. But I do feel like there's a sense of closeness to the children of your life. I feel like you influence so many people. I imagine all of these people like around you while you sit, you're writing. You have something to say, you know. We have the eye and the rodent we talked about earlier. I feel that there's somebody in your life who is envious. There's an envy there. This person, I feel, will go out of their way to make things more difficult for you. Don't feed it. I think that's the only thing. You just don't feed it. Unless it's something dangerous or, like something that you need to go to file something about. I would say this is definitely one where having a talisman for the evil eye, some kind of protocol for psychic warfare. We should all have that. But shielding of self, cleansing of spaces, and really, trying not to look at it directly. That's the big thing. Don't look in the eye of the evil eye, right? Do not let them see your gaze. Do not meet gazes, right? That's the worst part. So I do feel like this is a person that's talking. They're talking. That's all they do is talk. And they bow at your feet. And I think it's a lot about jealousy, This is a person that instead of saying or admitting, to self, they don't have to say it to anybody else. But yeah, I really like this quality of somebody, or I like this thing that they have or do or whatever. Maybe I should try it, or, I really respect that, or I think that's really awesome. Instead of having that kind of experience, it's that kind of vile, toxic, wanting, desperation. And I feel like once you really see this kind of behavior in a person, like, you are just turned off, like, forever. You're not interested. I'm done with this energy. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's anything beyond just kind of annoying. But I would still do all the protective things, just as practice even. There's nothing wrong with having rituals that make you feel safer, They're never 100 proof, but, I think it does. It affects our mind state. If it gives you ease, do it. And if you can really deploy something that works, then that's even better. Okay. So we have two people hand in hand meeting each other together. We have a heart up here, right in there. We have what looks like tents, and then a large tent. Little tents, and then a large tent. And then over here we have the stag head. You can see the little antlers in the letter M. So I feel like through some kind of camping or retreat or going to an intentional space for some kind of music, spiritual practice, gathering, to be gathered with other people who are like-minded or like interest, whatever. Okay, I feel like this is something that maybe you don't usually partake in, belonging to things, but I can see this real necessity for a perceived community. And I feel, it almost feels like within that experience, if it is in the physical world or if it's interior, astral, or whatever you want to call it, I think through this togetherness, through this brief unification, there seems to be a real sense of heightened it's not lust. It must be creativity, because it feels like the fire, right? I feel that there is a kind of recoupling of something existing, an intensity growing within a bond that's already established. And I feel that it feels like a real renewal of attraction, sensuality, love, all the things feel like it's all like it's like burning hot. So I do feel, yes, there's a bit of a journey here for you. A journey outside of the norm. I think really leaning into some solitary time for yourself, some, really feeling those feelings deeply without having to be witnessed or judged or anybody trying to help you or what do you need? And you just want to dissolve into the floor and hurt for a while, that like kind of feeling. And I see you rising from this, because in allowing yourself the space to be whatever this pain is, it's like you've released some of it. You know what I mean? Like you're not desperately grabbing on to any feeling at all, or, something that feels familiar. It's not, no, I think it's just like you've succumbed to the discomfort of it all, the pain of it all. And through that, you save yourself, and you rise again. You begin to rise again. And within that rising, I feel like you are having a moment of ultra connection with a established love. So, and it could be a person, it could be something else. I don't know, like a passion. It could definitely be that. Okay, let's see. We have show me. This is my last reading. And I'm starting to feel better for sure. But I don't know. I just feel cruddy. This is going to be real. I feel cruddy at this point. I was cruising for a while. So we have distractions. We have some distractions. We also have the number 31. And we have what looks like a vulture. There's an energy of, I feel like it's almost somebody within your family, I think. I almost feel like it's a sibling. That's the first thing that came to mind, like a younger sister, possibly. But this feeling of wherever there is anything to be had, they are there already taking. Like if you have, and I don't know, not many people, I guess. I don't know who does. I don't have parents, so I don't know. But not my biological parents anyways. There's almost a feeling of like your parents trying to like, do as much as they can for their kids. But this sibling is like always in there, immediately taking as much as they can. And I feel like it's an energy that really sets you off. Whenever it starts to feel clingy or needy or schemy, like they're trying to take the bigger portion, or instead of just asking, like, you're a Cancer, you're not a person that's, you might, collect some things, but I don't think that you're somebody that, you're not greedy. Right? You might covet certain things, but you're not a greedy person. And you're not a person that will recklessly, step on others to get to where you want. Yeah, to get to where you want. I think that you're definitely cunning at times, right? It's not like you're just some like shrinking violet. But the way that your person in your life, your sibling or coworker, or, best friend or whoever this person is, you would never act the way that they do. You just wouldn't treat people that way. So I feel like there's something going on where, it's, I don't know, you're going to be ticked off, I think. But I also feel you letting it go. Just to me, like choosing not to allow yourself to sink into resentment. Okay. And I think it's a sibling because I feel like this is not even a surprise. Now, the other part of the things is that it's just there's so many distractions, right? There's just so many opportunities. And we also have the number 27. So many opportunities for you to get off course here. And I think that's one of the biggest things is staying vigilant, that like you're not off on one. You know what I mean? Like just stay the course. Do the work if you want to. Number 12. That's our first lucky number. Number 12. Number 75, the second lucky number. And now you might wonder, why are you doing numbers? Some people are looking for lucky numbers. I don't know how many they need or any of that. I just picked 3 off of this thing. 29. So if you need lucky numbers or more lucky numbers, you can ask in the comments and I'll get you some numbers. I don't know. I just started adding it so people didn't have to ask as much. So hopefully it's helpful in some way. Anyways, I love you. Thank you for being here. I hope you have a wonderful days ahead. If you would like to help the channel at all, liking, subscribing, leaving a comment, sharing. I also want to say thank you to all the people doing the buy me a coffee. I always appreciate those. Definitely. You don't have to do it, but I really do appreciate them. So thank you. I love you. We'll talk soon. Good night.